Hello and welcome back to my IB progress, or my IB project progress reports. I know it's been a while. I've kind of forgot to do this for a while, so I'll show you what I've done. Um, I have added basic AI navigation that's pre-baked into Unity. I've added a flashlight to the gun. It was fairly easy. It causes this weird bug with the particles, but I'm going to figure that out soon. These are two AIs that I've put in. They both have 100 health. And if we kill one, we get the death sound. Kill another, we get the death sound. I'm planning on changing um some of the sounds soon so that they fit better. Um Other than that, we still have our little sphere up here if we go up to him. There's now, you can continue to sprint in the air after if you're holding the sprint key while you jump, and you get more maneuverability in the air. And I've also changed it so that you get less maneuverability in the air if you weren't sprinting before. Um, I've also added a button over here that we can use, and it respawns all the enemies at their old locations. This can be changed fairly easily. They all have 0 health, so I'll show you the scripts right now while I go and change that. So, hang on, we're gonna do enemy dot. Crap, I forgot to reference this. Yeah. Okay, so we're iterating. So this, here, I'll explain while I think about this. So we're getting the player's camera and the player object itself, because I need both of those. And then we're creating a list with all game objects that have the tag enemy. So if we go here and we go to anything under target, so let's say Robot Kyle over here, I tagged them as enemy. And so this just calls them and creates a list with all of the enemies. And then we're getting we're performing a call from movement, because this is where I'm putting all the player inputs now. And we're taking that and we're finding the interact input there, and then we're checking if that's true. And then we're checking a raycast for 200 units out, which is pretty big for the button, but I don't understand the units yet completely, so it's hard to estimate how far the player should be. And then I'm grabbing in, so this is actually literally just a copy and paste from the gun script for checking the target. And then I'm grabbing the ID interactable, which I defined in this class. And interactable equals hit info.transform.get component. So we're just grabbing the game object that we hit with the raycast. We're getting its transform, we're getting its component, we're getting if it's interactable, and then we're running this script, which takes in, this is just a regular for loop in C#. So for each game object, and then this is our variable in enemies, which is this list. We are setting them back to active, because whenever they die now, instead of destroying the game object, I have it set to disable them. So that I can call them back, because if I destroy them, then I can't ever call them again. So game object does not contain definition for health. Dot. Get component target dot health. Give it. Okay. Why are we struggling with this? Oh, because I forgot to do that. There we go. Okay, and then that should reset their health back to 100. And then I plan to store the default position at some point for these guys. Like, I'll just create an empty, have that be the default position, then I can do this, get the default position, and then set the default position. Or set their current position to their default position if I wanted to have a spawn point for them. Other than that, I actually can show you. Don't need that. I can show you if we go to movement. This is all the code. It's terrible. We're checking if they're grounded, sprint key, or if they're not grounded, and was sprint was true. And was sprint is just being set to true in all cases that this is true. Or either of these are true. Because this is the OR statement in C#. And then multiplying by sprint speed, and to change how quickly the player moves in the air. In this end thing, where transform.position plus m input, all you have to do is multiply that by a float or an integer, whichever which. So if you want greater, then you do a value greater than 1. If you want less, then you do a value less than 1. Don't go into the negatives, though, because it's based on distance from 0, not the actual value. Let me see if there's anything else. AI.setDestination. This is very simple. We get a new mesh agent. We get the transform of the target. And so we take the AI, or the nav mesh agent, we set its destination to the target and position. This is pre-baked into all of Unity. So we have our nav mesh agent, and we have our set AI destination. The player is always going to be the target for these guys, or for the most part, and the AI is going to be Kyle. And since I already know how to change different parts of the components because of the AKM and M4 thing, this will be fairly simple to change in the future. Like, if I want them on a rotating loop, like doing patrols or whatever, it'll work out great. And then all I had to do after that was I had to open up this navigation window and select everything that I wanted them to be able to traverse, and then hit the bake button, and they can navigate anywhere they want. Other than that, the bush is getting figured out slightly better. For some reason, it likes to do weird stuff, but it's okay. So we're just gonna do bush 01 LOD. So now the player should be able to see it from further away. And then LOD2. So, yep. And now the player can see it from anywhere except for LOD3 and greater, which the render distance, or like the render scale prevents anyways. I've so far made no changes to the AKM and M4 selection, although now that I have the button scripts and I know how to make them fairly easily, it really is just a matter of putting buttons here and changing it. It wouldn't be that hard. I just haven't done it yet. Anyway, thank you and goodbye.